Hello everyone, my name is Ark and welcome back to another SH Figuarts review. In today's video we're going to be taking a look at the one and only MOMO AYASE from the one and only DanDaDan, the famous anime of 2024, the hit anime of 2024 from the looks of it. So I've been hearing a lot of bad things from this figure, but at the same time I wanted her for my own collection because I am going to be taking a look at Okarun. So I'm very excited about this one. Hopefully it's not too terrible from the looks of it, but I'm pretty sure people have already done their mods and everything for that. Something I kind of dislike is that it only says Momo here. It should be MOMO AYASE, like the whole name and everything. But yeah, without further ado, let's take her out and see how she looks. Alright, so here we have the wonderful MOMO AYASE herself. And I gotta say, she looks pretty darn good. Like in terms of just the figure itself, she looks really, really good. In terms of the height, because this is a brand new line, she is about 5 3/4 of an inch, and that is roughly 15 centimeters from the looks of it. So this figure, again, looks really nice. They did a really nice job sort of sculpting it so it doesn't look like it has a bunch of joints. Now, we do have kind of like the issue where they have certain things sculpted with some form of plastic, like softer plastic and harder plastic. It is very noticeable in person. The elbow joints, they are a completely different pink. They look more of a washed out pink rather than the really nice pastel looking pink that she has for her sweater. Besides that, she looks fine, honestly. She looks fine in terms of like no issues whatsoever. The hair looks really nice. The face looks good. They really capture this, and it looks to be more manga-like, you know? Because they definitely had the source material for the manga. They probably did too for the anime, and they definitely try to match really good in between because she has a really round face. But besides that, again, she looks good. Now, articulation. This is where she kind of does fall apart. No, like, that's not a thing that she doesn't fall apart. But looking back down, she has about that much range, which is not good. And looking up, she is not going to be able to look up because of the hair. So already starting off to a strong bad start. But if we were to look at the actual figure, or the actual faceplate, she does have a ball peg. So in this case, I actually think a ball hinge would have been more efficient. So we can't really do much about it. You could probably switch it with a ball hinge if you could find one, but it works fine. She can look side to side, of course. She can sort of tilt a little bit. I do wish the hair was a softer plastic. This is really hard plastic for hair. Like realistically, like I can't barely bend it, which is not good. Even the front is kind of hard. But yeah, she has shoulder joints, but she can barely do a T-pose. Oh no, this figure is not good. She can rotate her arms 360 degrees. She has a very tight bicep swivel, holy hell. Okay, bicep swivel works from the looks of it. A single jointed elbow, that works for a figure like her. And hinge wrists, of course, that go back and forth. Now, ab crunch, there's none. That's about as far as you're gonna get. Like, you could probably push it by breaking the figure, but there really isn't much. Going backwards, about that far. Almost non-existent. Pretty much non-existent. That's pretty much it. She can twist a little bit. For the legs, about as far as you can get with the splits, unfortunately. And kicking forward, about that far. Kicking backwards, a little bit better, but this is the thing that I hate how they did this. So the skirt is not a separate piece from the actual like section of the pelvis. So it kind of makes it annoying to move them around. They do have kind of like a drop down motion a little bit, but I don't like how they did it. Joint knee is a single jointed knee, and she does not have a thigh swivel, unfortunately. No calf swivel either for the shoes. And going forward with the shoe about that far with the pivot, and pivoting forward with the toe hinge. Not the worst toe hinge, but it could have been better. And pivoting backwards like that. So articulation, pretty lacking, to be honest. So realistically, not good enough. So let's move on to the accessories, because even those are kind of lacking. Alright, from this angle, it looks like she doesn't have much, realistically. And the way that they packed it onto the actual box is weird, too. Because we have this little tray inside of a tray, so what can you do? And they kind of put the faces a lot. Like, I'm just going to show you the box. So the way that they packed it is like, all the faces are like packed right here. They couldn't just put them like going downward. And then the hands, like, all packed in this section. So, like, you have this really empty area, which you won't see because of the box. But you have this giant empty gap on the actual packaging. That's just me. I feel like that's a wasted, like, space, really. They could have spread out the faces a little bit better. And the hands as well. But, hey, whatever works for them works, I guess. They would have done the exact same amount of work for it. So I have no issue. Now, for the faceplates, we have one of her with the mouth open and looking sideways to the left. Very good. One of her smiling, probably thinking of Okarun. Another one where she's blushing because of Okarun, maybe. And another one laughing at Okarun not having his balls. So you can recreate that wonderful scene, although she does have a different outfit for that. Now, for the hands, there are 4 different pairs of hands and 2 additional separate hands. So we have a peace sign, a pointing finger, 2 fists, 2 extended hands, 2 sort of chopping, karate chop hands, and then 2 mostly holding hands, I guess. Maybe something for Okarun. Who knows? But at the same time, this leads me to my final thoughts. This figure is okay. It is quite an expensive figure, to say the least, but at the same time, it is lacking on a lot of things. Articulation is mainly the biggest thing about this figure, what that it's lacking from. Mostly because she is a very, like, expressive character. She does a lot of body movements, especially with her telekinetic powers. So, kind of disappointed that she doesn't have the best range in articulation. The legs definitely are a hindrance. The ab crunch is the biggest hindrance. So overall, I'm going to give this figure a 6 out of 10, unfortunately, because she is lacking quite a lot of things. Even in accessories, they could have included, like, a ghost hand, you know, like one of the big ghost hands that she sees when she's using her powers. That would have been really good. But this is not a good start to the actual series, especially with how good DanDaDan is and how well it was received by hundreds, if not thousands of people. So it is a little bit disappointing that one of the first articulated figures is not good. So hoping that Okarun is good and that he kind of sets a big standard for the figure, for the franchise itself, because we're definitely going to be getting a lot more figures from this line. Just look at Kaiju number 8. We got a lot of them. So expect the same for this one. It's like very similar in terms of like release times and everything like that. So that's pretty much all the time I have for you guys today. Let me know what you guys think about this figure specifically. Do you like it? Do you not like it? I feel like a lot of people are mostly disappointed with it rather than not liking it completely. They probably like the character and how it looks and everything, but the articulation is definitely something to be more desirable. But yeah, besides that, I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.